start at 8. It's 8:04. Where you're supposed to start 4 minutes ago.
Here we go. What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the Otaku podcast, sponsored by Cheerios. Just kidding, we're not sponsored by Cheerios, but
we're sponsored by Honey Nut Cheerios. Lower that cholesterol, folks.
The way better Cheerios. The other Cheerios are garbage.
I know. Who needs to put
Crap
salt?
Cheerios.
I mean sugar.
Salt? What are you making?
Who needs to put
Cheerios?
salt on Cheerios?
You know something's bad when you have to like continue to add either spices or different things to like make it taste better.
Oh, I know.
I like steak. If
Yeah.
you can make a good steak, all it needs is some salt and pepper.
Yeah, that's it. Boom.
But if you're gonna load it with like seasonings and then
And you're just a
sauces,
bad cook. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not necessarily true. I mean, if you're making a certain type of steak, like you're going for, I don't know, some other kind of steak that I wouldn't make because I'm too lazy and I'm gonna make sure I just put salt. And that's my excuse. I just want to be lazy and make a normal steak.
Well, the only extra thing I would add to salt and pepper is butter.
Oh yeah,
Some butter with the steak. I would dig that.
butter. That's true.
I am kind of a
Butter-seared
hypocrite
steak.
though because I love sauces. So like
You
if
put
I-
A1 on it.
I
no,
like A1.
barbecue.
I like barbecue.
Put barbecue. on
All
steak.
about barbecue sauce, yeah.
Mm.
For steak, it's barbecue sauce, obviously fry sauce for any other sort of sides dipping.
Actually,
Yeah.
at TGI Fridays, they have that Jack Daniel's sauce. That just tastes good on everything. So that tastes good on steak.
I've actually never been to TGI Fridays.
What?
I know. It's weird.
Oh.
It's like one of
I haven't
Sarah's
either,
favorite
actually.
places, and I've never been
You've
there.
never had a real Friday. It's only been, thank goodness it's
It's not one of my
Thursday.
favorites. I don't know.
What if they were only open on Fridays? I bet they'd be slammed every Friday because it'd be like a rarity, you know?
They're only.
I mean, they lose the income from the other 6 days, though. I mean, they're kind of the opposite of Chick-fil-A's model.
Yeah, that's true.
I hate that. The only time I ever think about going to Chick-fil-A is on Sunday. It's like, oh man, I got time. I can do what I want today, except for go to Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A has those little breakfast nuggets
Mm.
with the little honey buns, and yeah, those are the best.
Daniel's mom.
You should.
Has
That's what I call
delicious
it.
honey buns.
Honey buns.
You guys ready to start recording?
Push it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Punch it.
And no, I'm just joking. We've been recording for the past forever. Since Jonathan left to get water,
Really?
I've been recording the whole time.
Great.
So I got all of our conversation, Daniel, and then everything since you've been back.
So natural.
It's just easier to get into it when you guys don't know you're recording yet, because then you feel more casual. But if it's like, okay, recording now,
now I'm
then it like
nervous.
changes the psychology.
I'm nervous now, and I'm just gonna shut down.
Oh no. What you need is, Daniel, tell a dad joke.
Tell a dad joke.
What
Quick.
did the fish say when it swam into the wall?
What did it say?
Damn.
That was great. I muted Jonathan so you couldn't hear his reaction, so it sounded quiet.
Cricket,
Crickets.
There you go.
Oh, those are better than my crickets. My artificial.
You sound like the Jack the Ripper, sort of like the background. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to murder that joke. That's what I was saying.
all right.
If I could. If this thing turns off, I'm gonna throw the remote at you.
At me?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it at you.
Why don't you just turn it on?
No, it's on.
Oh no, I'm saying, but if it turns off, why do you have to throw the remote at me?
Do it.
Yeah.
I think it was just for the pleasure of harming you. That's
You're in
all.
charge of AV.
Okay.
This is it. This is AV.
AV, audio visual.
This is visual.
Got it. In the future, it'd be nice if we could actually display stuff up on the TV, because
Yeah.
then it would be like, oh, they can see you as well as what's on the TV at the same time.
Yes. No, I definitely plan on creating some material for that. Hopefully for next time.
All right. We have a good lineup. We have a comment suggestion from the last video.
We do. We also have a good lineup of shows to watch.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
It's friggin', really, really good. Like I'm really excited with the lineup for this season. It's just, as some would say, it's the golden age of anime.
Some would say that. And some would say it's the zombie apocalypse of isekais.
Yes, some would say that.
Slowly multiplying and invading our minds, eating our brains.
I don't mind it so much. I like the isekais. I don't really care. I mean, I fall into, I fall for it. I'm fine with just, I got hit by a truck and now I'm in another world, but I'm super strong. Like, it's because I wish that would happen to me.
Oh yeah,
I'd be fine with getting hit by a truck or a train.
you die, you're reborn, you have all sorts of powers, and you get a harem. Good, but
How not to summon a demon lord is kind of what you're talking about.
I mean, yeah, that is definitely one.
Yeah,
that is like that, and it doesn't make any sense. I just picture as I'm watching that, because I'm trying to gauge Diablo's power. I just picture while I'm watching it, like, how is he getting away with all this crap? And what audience is he pandering to right now? Like,
what I was thinking though, that statement doesn't fall into is Sword Art Online.
yeah, he doesn't have a
is
harem.
smart. Yeah, that's like the really like top level best isekai. I'm fine with like the mid grade ones that just kind of like are just fun to watch.
Yeah.
You know.
Anyways, the suggestion or the comment that we got was specifically about the vending machine isekai.
Yep, that's a thing.
I mean,
unfortunately, I don't know anything about it. So you decided you're gonna watch it.
I did.
Take one for the team because I watched like a little bit of it and I was like, nope, this is stupid. I refuse. Why?
I have seen all 8 released episodes. It obviously is going to go more. It's not done yet, but I've watched all 8 released episodes.
Okay.
Just so I can give an accurate description to whoever commented on the last video. And I'll have to say that I have 2 big feelings when it comes to it. The first big feeling is, what the F am I watching?
even after
really
watching
a
8
show?
episodes?
Yeah, like, is this really a show? And 2, I kind of liked it.
Yeah?
Like, it's not in my top 100 favorite anime by any means, but I was like, I'm entertained.
Yeah.
Like, the story is dumb, in my opinion. But the characters, they're endearing. They're a little bit unique. How in the world they were able to pull off a sentient vending machine? And there's a lot, like, okay.
So what's the premise?
The premise is this. There's a guy, and he loves vending machines. And there's a vending machine.
I love vending machines too.
He's riding his scooter on the road, and he sees a truck with a vending machine in the back. And the truck is taking a corner too hard, and it's tipping, and the vending machine's about to fall off the truck. So being the brave person he is, he speeds up and jumps and grabs the vending machine, and him and the vending machine fall off a cliff to their death.
He realizes I'm trying to hold a vending machine.
Well, it's just the imagery.
Hundreds of pounds.
It's burned in my head of him hugging the vending machine, and then him having that realization, like, oh no, I'm going to die. And he wakes up in another world and realizes he's a vending machine. He's become a vending machine. And so it's basically him now in this other world. He's a vending machine, and he has to figure out what to do. Now, can he move? No, not at all. Can he talk? No. The only thing he can say is coined phrases like, thank you, come again, insert coins, have a nice day.
I mean, even if you just have like 2 things that you can relay, then that's enough because that's yes or no.
Well, and that's exactly what happens is he gets found because he's slowly dying because if people don't spend money on him and the products he has,
He'll die.
he'll die because the points in his like code will go down to 0 and he'll die. So when people spend money, that money converts into life energy for him. So, but he was spawned in the middle of nowhere. And so this girl finds him and she's starving and they're able to figure it out. Oh, I'm just going to say this means yes and that means no. And she's able to buy some stuff from him. He finds out in that moment that he can actually, using like code in his system, update his inventory, like magically update his inventory. So he makes like food products for her. She buys them and eats them. He makes like milk tea and, canned corn and, or corn soup, I think is what they call it. And like other drinks. And she's able to buy the stuff. Well, it just so happens that this girl is the only person in this world blessed with the gift of might, which gives her super strength. And so she picks up the vending machine and carries it all the way to a town. And on the way, they become friends. And she just eventually makes a harness for him. And everywhere she goes, she walks with him on her back and carries him around. And all he can say is, he says, one thing for like hello there for yes and too bad for no.
Too bad.
And so it's pretty cheesy. Like, what the heck is going on? But I just want to make a few points about it, just so no one's surprised. If you really don't want spoilers for it, maybe watch it and then come back and listen. But I'll outline this. It's horribly campy and convenient. Like, if you lived in a medieval world, just like no modern technology at all, and someone handed you a can, like a soda can, how fast do you think it would take you to figure out how to open that?
I mean, I feel like it would be fast because there's like everywhere else you're like pulling things. Like you start like pulling things. And the only thing that would come up is
Yeah, and maybe that's true. Maybe that's like the case, but it just
that,
seemed
or
like
just
they
stab a hole in it and be like, shotgun it.
And I feel like that's what they would probably try first.
Yeah.
But just everyone instantly just like, oh, am I supposed to do this? Yep, that's right. Oh, I ate it. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just his powers are so interesting. I do have to applaud them for giving him the mental capacity to figure out how to solve problems, because he can solve problems by being a vending machine. I think in one scene, someone's trying to stab him. I mean, he's a vending machine, which is weird. Someone's trying to stab him because he wants free stuff.
Yep.
And so he eventually gives in and drops a bottle of water for free. And so he's like, that's more like it. And he goes to get the bottle of water, but then he drops a steaming hot can of corn on his hand when he goes to reach for it. And so it's like, oh man, what an attack. He just lured him in angelfish style, or anglefish, whatever those things are.
Anglerfish.
Anglerfish.
Yeah.
And just burns them. But that's like his attack. I mean,
that is the lamest thing ever. I mean, what I was thinking is, how they have those flaps? And he like sticks his arm in and then just like crushes
bites
arm.
him.
Like, ah!
Well, and another scene, these guys are about to just mug this girl. And this girl's in a prison, and the vending machine got put in a prison too. And they're about to mug this girl, and she's sleeping, and the main character's like, oh my gosh, I got to save her somehow. what do I do? And here's one thing interesting about his powers. He can turn into any vending machine. Any vending machine at all.
You mean like a soda vending machine, a soup vending machine?
Yeah, he can make soda, soup, a hot food, gachapon, magazine vending machine, hygiene items vending machine. In this case, to stop them, he transforms into a porn magazine and shoots out a few porn magazines, and they're like, "Oh, this is better," and they just leave. It's like, wow, okay, we forgot about mugging this girl. We're gonna take these magazines now. In the fairness, though, this is medieval times,
so they're like, "This is amazing new."
Yeah, like, whoa, this paper, it's not like drawn. This is straight up just women.
Yep.
And so they just take them and they're like, I got to go to my room real quick. And they leave. And it's like, okay, I guess that was a creative solution to this problem. I don't know if it would work, but okay. I mean,
that would be a valiant effort. That's creative enough.
Yeah. Well, on the convenient note, there's some vending machines that I question their existence that he turns into. Like, for example, he can turn into a vending machine that shoots out combustible gas.
What? No.
Because he uses it to defeat a like Titan level monster. Because the Titan level monster like eats him, and so he lets the gas out of his system, and then in order to spark it, he can't make fire. So he turns into a microwave vending machine and puts a can of corn in it so that it would blow up in the microwave to create a spark so that he could shoot the flaming can out and ignite the gas to blow up the monster.
Isn't he going to blow himself up?
Well,
I guess if he leaves like the door open, maybe.
Well, one of his abilities
I don't know what happened.
that he paid for and with his points is to be able to make a shield, a barrier.
Oh.
And so he can make a barrier, right? So it's just, you're beginning to see the convenience.
Yeah, it starts to get stretched.
Yeah,
a bit.
It's stretched. It's a, like, okay, there's no way you can solve this. You're a vending machine. Oh, no, you can. They defeat a monster, like the king of, like, the frog people, who's this giant, like, house-sized, flaming frog with horns and fangs and all this hunani.
Yep.
They defeat him because the vending machine guy shoots out Coca-Cola bottles and then turns into a Mentos machine. And then they put the Mentos in the Coke and shoot it at the frog.
Oh my gosh.
Like, what? I mean,
that's acceptable. I mean, people use the Coke Mentos thing to death, but
yeah. I will say before I beat this to death, and tell you about the good things I thought about it. One of the worst solutions in the show is the leader of the Hunter Association, which is like the Fighters Guild, and this like regional like politician rep lady. They ask him for a solution to unsafe sex. And so he's like, I have your answer, and turns into a condom machine.
You're welcome. I mean, that was a legit problem back then.
I mean, it was. It's just funny that's like, this is a happy, funny show. We're going to tackle these issues. So he turns into a condom machine, and then just they buy like hundreds of condoms from him, and they ship them all over the land.
Only hundreds?
Yeah, I guess. Like, this is good, and they're like, oh, it's a good thing this packaging has very detailed descriptions on how to use it, and it's like, great.
I mean, to be fair, the first time I saw one, I just brought it into the bathtub and I fill it full of water, and those get so full, like they can take up your whole bath.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess they would have tried that.
Yeah.
Hey, let's fill this up with water. This is a water skid. So the problems they're solving in the show are very convenient, kind of silly in a way.
Mhm.
This world is obviously just a big kind of joke, really.
Mhm.
Now, what I liked about it, because I don't want to just crap on it. What I liked about it, though, is I think the characters are endearing. The main character girl, I think she's endearing. I feel like the writers did a good job at kind of showing you this is another world. This is kind of how it works. These are some characters, and actually getting you to actually feel something about some of those characters. The plot, there's no plot. Uh, this guy is so happy to be a vending machine that he wants to be a vending machine, and it's like his dream as a vending machine foamer to just be every kind of vending machine there is and help people. You know,
How much did the vending machine suppliers pay these guys to make this anime?
I know, right? And maybe this is cooler in Japan where there's a ton of vending machines.
Right.
Whereas in America, you go into any mall, you see a Coke and a Pepsi machine, and that's about it. Maybe one that sells some like Pop-Tarts.
Yep.
But in Japan, from what I understand,
So many vending
there's
machines.
vending machines everywhere.
Yep.
And that's not just even Japan. Like I was in Mexico for a while, and they have a ton there.
I'm honestly surprised we don't have a lot more here. Because
Yeah.
like if I wanted a hot coffee, other places I'd be able to get it. Or just a quick soup,
Yeah. And according to this show,
Snack.
Japan has every vending machine in the ever. One that shoots gas out.
Yeah.
Dry ice vending machine, which that's kind of, we have those here. Dry ice and ice vending machines. Like a vacuum turns into a vacuum, like at a car wash.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, he can turn into any vending machine he can think of. And so, like, but what's
you
funny,
put quarters in it, you could turn into it.
yeah, basically, like, and what's kind of cool about it is, when he turns into something like weird, like he turns into an oxygen vending machine, which you can put an oxygen mask on.
Yeah.
He does that to help someone.
Yep.
And it's like, in 1980, whatever, this vending machine was very popular because of the air pollution in Tokyo, Japan. Like, they actually explain, like, this is where this vending machine came from.
Did they explain the vending machine that was popping out like explosives?
Gas
Gas
and,
or whatever?
I don't remember. Honestly, I just was sitting there like, really? I did think it was creative that he's like, I don't know how to make fire, so I'm just going to put a can in the microwave and basically blow up the microwave in order to create fire. I thought that was kind of cool.
Sure.
But it was a stretch.
Yep.
It was a stretch for sure.
Are you gonna keep watching it?
I think that I will finish season 1 when it's all the way out. But it's going to be a very low priority on the list. There's a lot of isekais that I've seen one season,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, that was kind of cute, whatever. And I haven't really watched any more of it just because there's more pressing animes on my list.
Sure.
But I am glad that I at least watched some of it. If you just want something to laugh about, you want a campy, convenient show that exists, go ahead and give it a try. I don't think you'll waste your time. The animation was good.
Yep.
The story was fine. But it was definitely a trip. So that's my synopsis on it. I'm sure a lot of people have done videos praising and crapping on it before. I fit in the middle. I really do. But then again, I do like that kind of sweet isekai every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you seen the... well, that one's not an isekai, is it? I was going to say that if it was for my daughter, I would kill a demon lord or I'd slay a demon lord.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's in.
It's not an isekai, but it's got the same feel to it.
Yeah.
Like the home, like, this is really sweet. The problems are very low stakes,
Yeah.
issues. It's got a similar vibe to that. But I still like that one. Thought it was cute.
It's a little more slice of lifey.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the problems they're solving are like, oh man, what are we gonna do? My hair is not smooth. And he's like, I know, shampoo vending machine.
Boom.
Boom. Oh yeah, I need that to buy it. Oh, my hair is so nice.
It's clean.
it's just like,
conditioner.
what can't he turn into? And so it's cool though. I mean, it's entertaining to watch something inanimate essentially try to solve problems, and people not understanding him or people understanding him really well.
I'm not. I'm probably not gonna watch it. Mostly just because I don't have enough time between all the other things I'm watching, and also, as you know, I recently I spent a fair bit of time making sure I had all of One Piece. So shout out to whoever is working on that. They're freaking saints.
Yeah.
I think that you were thinking about seeing if you can, contribute to that, right? But
Yeah, once I find out how I can contribute to One Piece, I'm definitely gonna do it. It's a lifesaver.
Yep. So I downloaded all of it. So I've watched most of One Piece, pretty much all of it, like the hard way, because I've been watching it since I was like 10. So
Yeah.
But if I were to go back and watch it again, I don't think I would watch it the long and hard way. I would. That's what she said. But now that I have One Piece, I would certainly watch it that way.
No, yeah, I feel like if anyone's interested in One Piece, definitely give it a try because it's faster paced and they still have all the information in it. I feel like I've definitely earned my right as a already fan to now just watch One Piece just because I've read every volume all the way to now, and I've watched every episode all the way through Whole Cake Island.
Yep.
And I feel like that's an appropriate amount
Yeah.
time sacrificed.
I mean, unfortunately, I feel like it's way too hard realistically for most people to just sit down and watch the whole thing. I know there's some other YouTube people that are watching it. They're going through and watching it the hard way, and kudos to them. Because they unfortunately didn't start it early enough to just naturally watch it as it was just coming out, and over the course of several years, you're current. But my younger brother is part of the reason why I downloaded it. One reason is just because I wanted to be able to have it. So if I wanted to go back and watch it, I could. But also, so my brother could start watching it with me. So
Yeah. It's daunting. If you're new to anime and people are like, you gotta watch One Piece. It's like, that's a big ask.
Yeah.
You can't just expect someone to just watch it all. Like we want Nate to watch it, but in the end, I don't think he'll watch it the old way, the normal way. I mean, I watched,
if at all.
I mean, I think all three of us watched Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z when it was coming out.
Yep.
And One Piece is similar in a lot of the timing of just, you're 2 episodes in and you're still on the same part. And that's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Still charging up some things, still staring at each other, still the peanut gallery is still commenting about someone's attack. Someone's still running somewhere. Don't get me wrong. I love when Zoro's lost and he's just running everywhere. It's awesome.
So much running.
So much running.
But One Piece cuts out a lot of running.
They do. They cut out a lot of running. They cut out a lot of just staring at each other. They cut out a lot of information that's not necessary. A lot of the filler, obviously, they cut that out. But they have brought the 1,000+ episodes out right now down significantly. And it's a faster pace. And I dig it. So I'm going to be donating to them. I think what they're doing is awesome. So anyone out there interested, go for it. One Piece. It's cool.
For sure. So some of the other shows, like I was saying before, some would say it's the golden age of anime, just because there are so many good ones coming out. they don't have another episode of Jujutsu Kaisen coming out, or that has come out, but they have come out with more chapters in the manga. So, spoiler alert if you aren't current. I'm going to talk about the like current manga stuff. But the last chapter was super exciting. I think they are that if you don't know, Gojo and Sukuna are in the middle of this huge fight with each other. And they're just going back and forth, and that's been like the last several weeks of chapters that I've read, and it's gotten to the point where it's a 3-on-1 fight just because Sukuna is using Shikigami or Shinigamis to help him fight. So to me, I'm like, and Gojo's pointing this out too. He's like, so you can't beat me yourself, huh? Because Sukuna's supposed to be super powerful, and he is. But I think if it was just Sukuna, Gojo would have freaking laid him out a long time ago.
I'm sure Gojo's outrageous.
Yeah, he's awesome, but he's it right now. It ended the chapter. If you know, there he has hollow red, hollow blue, hollow purple.
Mm-hmm.
Hollow purple has been his most powerful attack, but he recently released, like in the manga, like at the very end of the chapter, he like calls out his attack, and it's called Unlimited Hollow. So you haven't seen it yet, but you've got to assume that it's going to be more powerful than even.
I wonder if that's
purple.
his United States of Smash equivalent.
Yes, probably.
Man,
but I'm super excited for the anime to catch up, but I'm also really excited with the direction the manga's going. Just like everybody else. Gojo, I love Gojo.
mm-hmm.
He's so chill and funny, and he can kick butt. I wanted to announce to people, if they haven't noticed already, we have a new logo.
We do.
Thank you to Daniel's wife for hooking us up with a sweet new logo.
Yeah, I really appreciate her spending the time. She's extremely busy, and I think one of these videos we're going to put a link to her shop. She actually is an artist, and she travels all over the U.S. doing conventions. She was able to design our logo. I think it's really well done. Mm-hmm. And Jonathan's going to have to tell you a little bit where that inspiration came from, because I'm a heathen who has not seen Bleach before. So
it's based on this glove that they wear in the anime that just kind of like pushes the spirit out of someone. So it's called the Gokon Teko, and I'm probably butchering how you say that, along with any other Japanese words that I'll probably say in the future. But essentially, it allows the user to, like I said, push the soul out of a physical body. So it has a blue and black flame with like a skull in the middle. So that was kind of the inspiration. We had a blue and black flame of sorts with this kind of a chibi looking spirit of Ichigo's Zanpakuto in there. So it's pretty dope.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Yep. Yeah. So the other show that I'm keeping up on, I think I've said in the past, I'm watching Mushoku Tensei.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched a little bit of the first season. just some of the fights in the first season, and in the second season, I feel like it just slowed down so much. So I still like the show, but I'm a little disappointed that there's not as much fighting. But I mean, it's going off of the manga. There's not a lot of fighting in the manga, so it's understandable. It's not necessarily the point of this arc. The point is he's at a school and he's trying to like sharpen his skills, and more like a school setting with a bunch of other students who are trying to learn and sharpen their skills as well. But instead of where like the first season there was a lot of just he's being thrown in with the sharks and just kind of instead of physical training, this is more like training his mind, as he's shown to be significantly older, or not significantly, he's a couple of years older. But I just really liked the choreography of the first season with those fights. Like if you look up any of those fights that he's doing, they're so good. Like the choreography, say what you will about the rest of the anime, but like the choreography of those fights are so good. I love it. And he had this last episode that I watched. He had a fight, and I was pretty excited for it because it was supposed to be a pretty good one. So he was fighting God Bodhigati, who's an immortal demon. And he's the fiance of Kishirika, who is the empress of the demon continent. And Rudius in the first season met Kishirika, and she gave him a demon eye. And there's several different demon eyes in the anime. Well, not in the anime, it's in the manga. I don't think they really dig too deep into it in the anime, but in the manga, there's several different demon eyes that you could get. She gives him the demon eye of foresight, which lets him see a little bit into the future. It's kind of like
Your observation
hockey. Yeah. So that gives him a little bit of an edge. But anyway, I guess as Bodhigati comes and it's like, I heard about you from my fiance, and she speaks very highly of you, and I've been looking forward to fighting you. And they fight, and it's just like, and then I remember, okay, it's just like a one shot. Like he gets one shot to take him down. He Bodhigati asks if you can hurt me, then then we're square, and I won't kill you, basically. So he takes one shot at him, and it's a good shot, but it wasn't that cool. He just like kind of forms like a drill spike in the air, and it spins really fast, and then he shoots it at him, and he gets him good. The bodyguard, he's immortal. It's pretty hard to kill, because even if you destroy his body, he could just mold it back together. So he does hurt him, and then he reforms his body, and he's like, "Yeah, you did a good job." And then he's like, "My turn!" Boom, and he punches him in the face, and he just gets a big bruise. But yeah. So that's kind of where that show is now. So I'm not gonna spoil where it goes because I am current on the manga, but I am excited to see the adaptation continue. So let's see what else is. I did want to point out something, and I think I should have pointed it out when we were talking about One Piece, because it's a One Piece related thought that I had today. Like I saw a TikTok that that made me think about it, and it wasn't necessarily this. It was they were pointing out the like fishmen are just superior to humans, and that's kind of like a lot of fishmen feel that way because they are naturally significantly stronger than humans.
Yeah, the average human, the average fish man, there's a definite increase
Yep.
in power and ability. Yeah.
But I was thinking, and I'm sure other people have thought of this, but I don't know why I never thought of it. Like, why aren't there more fishmen that have devil fruits? Like, if fishmen had devil fruits more, they'd be even more significantly stronger than a lot of devil fruit users, a lot of, top level fighters in the world. There's only one.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who it is?
I feel like I do, but I can't think of his name.
Vander Decken
Yeah, the guy, yeah, with the knives,
with the axes.
the axes, yeah.
He keeps throwing at Kirahoshi.
Shirohoshi.
Shirahoshi. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the problem with giving fishermen devil fruit though is you're taking away their like one of their biggest edges when it comes to
They can't
existing, like swim. Yeah, I mean,
but they can still breathe.
I guess you're right. Unless we follow shark logic, which sharks can't breathe if they're not moving.
Yeah.
Upside down. But no, but you're right. Like if you imagine like if Jinbei had a devil fruit.
Oh my gosh.
But here's the thing. Fishmen already kind of have cheated in the like life cycle because Jinbei knows fishman karate, which essentially is water manipulation.
Sure.
If he had a significantly powerful hockey, he would be
I also
way
wonder,
strong.
now that you say that, if he has water manipulation, would you still have that if you had a devil fruit? Like, I feel like you would just lose it, right?
But you're not touching it, right?
Yeah, you're not touching it. So I'm like, I feel like logically.
No, you would. Robin knows fishman karate.
Oh.
Doesn't she?
I mean, she knows fishman karate, but does she manipulate water?
I don't know. That's the thing. Like she knows the fighting,
Yeah.
but I haven't seen her manipulate the water. So
Maybe it's coming.
maybe maybe that's saved for a bigger fight later.
She's already pretty OP.
I know the Wano on Onigashima it just more found love and respect for Robin. She's already my second favorite Straw Hat.
Yep.
And I think just seeing that, I was like, nice. They finally did her justice. Not to mention,
Oh yeah.
I loved when, Sanji called for help and she showed up and she was really proud of him.
Yeah.
And then she just proceeded to be super hardcore.
Mhm.
I loved that.
Yeah, for a long time, I'm like, when are they going to show Robin's strength? Because it's being wasted. She is strong. Like, maybe she's not, like, physically strong, but, like, her power is very strong.
Yeah, she is outrageous. This is the fact
And
that
she's smart. Like,
yeah.
she could be strategic in her fighting.
Yeah, and now she can grow, like actually grow, and turn
Physically?
into a demon.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like a full-bodied demon. It's like
yeah.
50 feet tall. I don't know.
Here's something to think about. We could make an entire segment about how much easier Whole Cake Island would have been if Robin was there.
Oh yeah.
Because there's a whole part where they're planning how in the world are we going to get into the party and tip the picture over so it'll break.
She'd
That
just
big
be
one.
like, boop.
Yeah, she just puts her finger out and just knocks it over.
Yep.
They spend so much time chasing people. Robin doesn't need to chase after people. She could literally summon a hand anywhere and trip anyone.
Yep.
Like they spend so much time fighting people that if they had her ability, she has AoE like crazy because if a big army's coming at him, she just summons hands everywhere, grabs their legs, they can't move.
Yep.
Like, just Whole Cake Island was made for Robin to
And
shine.
she wasn't there.
And she wasn't there.
So
It
disappointing.
was so sad. And
It
so
would have been like
yeah.
half of the length.
Yeah, they would have got a lot more done. And she's actually smart. So if you could have like had her in the planning meeting with Beige instead of Luffy just wanting to punch Beige because
That's
what he
what
did to
Luffy does.
PComs, like it just I don't know. It was funny. I liked Whole Cake Island a lot. I thought it was Sanji's time to shine for sure. It gave him a good story and everything.
Yep.
I love Sanji and Pudding together, but I just think if Robin was there, it would have been done. And I'm actually kind of sad that she wasn't, because the whole crew together, I think, Whole Cake Island would have been very different.
Mm-hmm.
But it did. But it did give Brooke time to shine as well, because they
Yep.
found out about his ability to manipulate souls. That was cool. I did like that.
Yeah, and I think that's something that Oda does a lot. Is kind of like he takes things away to push other people's abilities to the next level. So
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Oh man, I'm very excited for the next chapter of One Piece to come out.
yeah, it's unfortunate. I think I had read that Oda's going a bit slower, just because he's more involved in this live action show. Which, I mean, I prefer he's involved as much as possible so that it doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like they picked a good Luffy. I do feel like they picked a good cast from what I've seen, but I'm getting my hopes up because I want it to be good.
Yeah. I'm on the fence about getting my hopes up because the previews I've seen, it looks fun and silly,
Yeah.
which is what One Piece is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of haters out there right now that are just saying this is going to suck just because it looks so silly and kind of fake in some ways. But that's kind of how One Piece is. It's silly and it looks fake in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I feel like it does have a lot of good potential. They're going to do their best. Now, history of anime adaptations is not on their side.
No.
I can't think of a anime adaptation.
You didn't like
That I
Death
love.
Note?
Oh,
You didn't
gosh.
like Dragon Ball?
Oh my gosh, man. No.
Bleach?
No, the only one that I liked for one reason was when they did the Full Metal one, and not because the story or anything, because I thought that was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
I liked the effects and animation. I thought they made it look really good. I feel like casting could have been better. I feel like the story could have been interesting. They had to fit a ton in an hour and a half that they shouldn't have done,
Yeah.
but I thought the effects were cool. But that's it.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't like. I mean, maybe I need to give some more chance. I've only seen
I'm
maybe half dozen
hopeful.
of them.
I feel like One Piece has never been as high as it is now.
Yeah.
Like, people that have just like never heard of it, even before they announced this live action, have just been jumping on, and it's been gaining a ton of interest. Like, Wano is just ever since they came out with Wano, I feel like it's just spiked.
Just jump. Yeah. I agree.
I mean, because it's a good arc, and I think that they came out with Film Red. That was really good.
The music was amazing.
So good.
Red.
So amazing. So the anime art, the art has been on point. So anime, manga, the movie. I mean, it's set up pretty well to do a good job, and especially if like Oda's being involved, and I think he wants to be involved because he has a lot to lose.
Yeah.
He's doing his manga is doing so well. He doesn't want to see that drop now.
Yeah, and I feel like this live action, it may seem kind of like a sellout, like, oh, everyone does live action eventually kind of thing. But I don't think he sees it that way. I think he sees it as expanding the fan base to people who are uncomfortable with animation.
Sure.
Because there's a lot of people that I think if you told them the plot lines of a lot of
It's like,
animes,
oh, it's a cartoon. Oh.
yeah, they're like, oh, it's a cartoon. But if that was a live action of that same plot line, I feel like they would like it. And so
Yeah.
I think this is his way of saying it's still going to be silly and funny that encompasses what One Piece is, but it's going to appeal to people who maybe aren't super comfortable with animation and maybe even have them give the animation a chance.
Yeah.
Because if they like the show a lot, they're like, wait, there's more? Yeah, there's 1,000
It's
episodes
based on
more.
this, and then people start. It's the same thing with like the Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
There's so many people who didn't give a crap about comics, but then they started coming out with all these Marvel movies, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna read the comics and get all these figures and be super interested all of a sudden. So,
Yeah. Exactly.
but yeah, I think they got Luffy. He seems like a solid choice. Like every time I see him, his attitude is so joyful.
Yeah.
He's smiling. He's happy. He's positive. From what I can see so far, I don't think they could have picked somebody better.
And I'm very glad they didn't pick a Japanese person or an American person.
Yeah.
They went with a different race entirely and high energy. And I love how the crew is diverse.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's one thing the anime adaptations kind of get wrong is they do it all one race.
Yep.
And it's supposed to be different groups of people coming together, for the crew and for these shows, and they just kind
They're from different lands, like literally. So
exactly.
Logical. So
Exactly. So I'm looking forward to it, and I think I'm pretty confident to say that the next recording that we do is going to be a bit of a review of at least the first few episodes that we watch.
Absolutely.
And who knows, I think we might even be able to get some a guest to come on with us to talk about it as well, because I feel like I'm curious outside of our group here what people think about it. And there's a lot of One Piece fans that we know, and I'm curious of what they think as well, because I feel like I am going to like it. Even if it's a little too cheesy, I feel like I'm still going to like it. So,
cool.
I think that's something to look forward to for next time. But thanks for
joining us. If you have any other animes that you want Daniel to watch, let us know.
I will not watch High School DxD.
Why not? Watch
maybe if you twist my arm, I guess.
Watch Monster Musume.
There you go.
Watch I think there's like a monster doctor or something that's like based on the same thing.
Maybe I'm sure there is. If you look at the anime list of everything, I'm sure someone out there's gonna be like, this guy will watch anything if you tell him to.
Watch
for
this.
approval. Watch this one and be like, no.
I will read the synopsis first.
Yeah, so bring on your suggestions, and I will make a concerted effort until it becomes unreasonable to watch every show that's recommended that you want to know about. So,
all right.
Cool. Well, thanks for tuning in. And next time, look forward to that review of the new One Piece live action. And we're really excited that we're able to be doing this. And so look forward to more from us. And hope you dig the logo and the content from here on out. But yeah.
Bye.
Bye.